everyone, my name is Alana Negroni and I am one of the clinicians down at the Counseling Team International. We wanted to come on here and just go over a few things with you. Number one, we wanted to talk to you about the services that you have access to, and then I'll be going over some of the new things that we will be launching in the coming weeks. And then at the very end of the video, I will be giving you what are hopefully some helpful tips on getting through this period of time. But first, launching right into the services. So right now, we understand that we are all doing our best to reduce the risk of exposure. What that can lead to a lot of the times is forced or chosen isolation. That forced or chosen isolation can then make us feel very alone, right? Which can increase our feelings of stress, our feelings of anxiety. In light of all of that, we do want to reiterate that we have full telehealth services available for you and also for your eligible family members. What does that mean? What are telehealth services? So telehealth services basically are video and or phone sessions that you can have with a clinician or a combination of both. It really just depends on what you feel most comfortable doing. Would you rather see somebody's face when you're talking to them? Are you comfortable with just speaking over the phone? Again, it's really what is most comfortable for you. If you are a current client and you are already working with the clinician and you would like to transition those sessions over into our telehealth sessions, you have a couple of different options. Number one, you can contact your clinician directly and let them know, have that conversation with them, let them know that you are interested in video, phone, or both. Or you can also contact our office at 800-222-9691, and our staff will get you all set up with those telehealth services. If you are not currently working with the clinician but you would like to, all you have to do again is contact our staff, call our office, and they will get you connected with the clinician and then also get you set up with those telehealth services. And it's all the same number, 800-222-9691. We are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year, and can now be reached from wherever you are. So again, reach out because we are here, we are ready, we are willing, we are able. All you have to do is pick up the phone and call. We cannot stress enough during this time that this can make us feel very confused, very anxious, very scared, and very alone, but you are not in this alone. We are here to help you, and we want to do everything that we can in order to support that for you. So in addition to those telehealth services, we will also be launching videos and webinars. Those videos are going to be uploaded every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1 o'clock. Again, that's Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 1 o'clock, and they will cover a wide variety of topics. So it might be everything from stress management to yoga, to mindfulness, to helping your kids cope through this time, to marital stuff. So please keep a lookout for those videos. Our clinicians that are going to be on those videos have generously donated their time to present that information. We're all doing our best to just make sure that we're supporting in whatever ways we can. Some of those clinicians include Andy Clack, Beth Holder, Dina Robertson, Dina Kale, Debbie Silveria, David Vest, Gina Sickles, Tammy McCoy-Arbayo, Nancy Bull-Penrod, and then also myself. And we, again, just want to be able to provide you with as much information as we can to try to help support during this time. Videos will be uploaded Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 1 o'clock, and they can be accessed on our social media platforms, which are Facebook and Twitter, and then also on our website. They can be accessed through there as well. So the next thing that I want to talk about, kind of end an introduction to the services and the stuff that we're doing and getting into the tips. The first tip or the first thing that I want to talk about with you is information. I know that during times of uncertainty, one of the very most basic human things that we do is we try to find control. One of the ways right now that we can try to find control is by trying to find answers. And so what happens a lot of the time is that we become consumed with the consumption of information. However, we have to be very conscious and very aware of the amount and of the kind of information that we are consuming. This situation is constantly fluctuating and constantly changing. It might be minute by minute, it might be day by day, but it is constantly changing. When we become obsessed with that consumption of information, what happens is we actually lose the ability to think rationally. When we lose the ability to think rationally, that gives way to our fears it gives way to our anxiety, and it gives way to our stress, and can consequently make us feel things that we wouldn't normally have been feeling or wouldn't normally have been experiencing. So we really have to be mindful of diving into that information. You also want to be good consumers of that information. So you want to be asking yourself things like, is this a reliable source? Is this person or is this area an authority on this subject matter? Is this firsthand information or is this secondhand information? You have to constantly be asking yourself those questions so that you can discern whether this is information that you need to incorporate or not. My recommendation on all of that would be check-ins. I would suggest that 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes at night that you check in, you make sure you're kind of up to date on all of the information that we have at that point, and the rest of your day is going to be spent focusing on good stuff, which I'll get to in a minute. But you really want to stay informed, but at the same time, you don't want to become consumed with the consumption of information because it's constantly changing. I might be listening to a news outlet right now, and then in 5 minutes, they're reporting something completely contradictory, not because they were being hurtful or harmful, but because the information is constantly changing. And so you want to set those time limits. Be focused right now on the things that you can control. Again, that's a very most basic fundamental human need. We want to feel control. So focus on the things that you can control. Right now, one of those things is how much news, how much information you are consuming. So control that. Make it healthy. Set limits for it. And focus on those pieces that you can actually control. The thing that I think is really important to talk about is what to do with this time. So let's just say my perfect world, you got 30-minute check-in in the morning, you have a 30-minute check-in at night with what's going on in the world, the news, the updates, all of that good stuff. What do you do with the whole rest of the day? Well, one of the things that you can do is you can focus on the things that are good. I think one of the reasons why this has brought so much fear and so much anxiety is because it's tapping into something that hits us to our core. It's health. It's the health and safety of our loved ones. And a lot of the time what we can do is we can focus on the negative stuff that comes with all of that. But right now, what I would encourage you to do is focus on all the good stuff that comes with that. The more you focus on the good, the better the good gets. So instead of spending time consuming information, spend that time connecting with those people that you're worried about. I understand, again, going back to something that I said in the very beginning, we're all trying to reduce our risk of exposure. So that might not mean going on coffee dates. That might not mean going to lunch or going to dinner with people. That might not mean having a barbecue. But what that can mean is that we're connecting through things like FaceTime. We're connecting through things like Skype, through conference calls. We are doing things, we're creating memories with people that we wouldn't normally have created. Little self-disclosure, I know for me, I have a 3-year-old at home, and a lot of the time when I come home from work at the end of the day, I'm exhausted, and I don't feel like I have the energy to just sit down and play with her for an hour. Well, guess what? Now I have the time and I technically have the energy to be able to do those things. And so I'm trying to focus on spending that time building those memories with her, building memories and building connections that I've had excuses for every other day. Those excuses have largely been taken from me. So we really want to be focused on connecting. We want to be focused on the good stuff right now instead of, again, that negative consumption of information. We want to be building those relationships that we always wished we had. Right? Focus on all of those things. And I'm going to say it probably multiple times before this video is over. The more you focus on the good, the better the good gets. The worry, it can wait until tomorrow a lot of the time. So let that worry wait until tomorrow and focus on the good things. Live right here, right now in this moment, because if you don't, you're going to miss it. You're going to miss it because you're fretting too much about tomorrow, because you're concerned too much about the things that you can't control. So stay focused on the things that you can control and stay focused on the building of those relationships. The next thing that I want to encourage you to focus on is yourself. Focus on your own self-care. Connect with yourself. As much as this is the time for you to be able to connect with your friends, connect with your family, this is also a time for you to be able to connect with yourself. It's always very interesting. Whenever I have new clients that come in, I will ask them, tell me about what some of your hobbies are. And a lot of the time they look at me like I've just asked them a question in a foreign language and they don't understand. Well, the reason why a lot of people have that response is because as adults, we have responsibility. And a lot of the times that responsibility takes precedent over our own self-care. So we don't know anymore what our hobbies are. We know what they used to be, but we don't know what they are now. Hobbies are things that we enjoy doing for no other reason than we just enjoy doing them. That's it. They may have a secondary benefit, but we do them because we enjoy it. So the more, again, that we focus on the good, the better the good gets. But focusing on your hobbies and focusing on your self-care, that's one of the best ways that you can actually manage and mitigate some of the stressors that we can't control right now. So focus on yourself, focus on your self-care. And I think that it's also very important that we give ourselves permission to relax right now. I have been inundated, it doesn't matter in what capacity, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on social media platforms, whether it's conversations with friends, it doesn't matter. I've been inundated with recommendations of getting in the best shape of your life right now, eating healthy, cleaning out your house, painting the inside of your entire house, cleaning everything, whatever it is. We don't need to be productive right now. I don't want to discourage you from doing those things. I think it's great if you can spend right now focusing on the good and exercising and eating healthy, and there's a lot of great benefits that come with that. But I also want you to throw another thing onto that list, yourself. Again, I want you to give yourself permission to just relax. Maybe now is going to be a good time to watch all those DVR shows that you have recorded that you never get the time to watch. Maybe it's going to be a good time to pick up some movies and watch some of those. Turn Netflix on, just relax, sit on the couch. You don't have to worry about cleaning your house because nobody's coming over, right? So worry about giving yourself permission to relax, focusing again on the things that are going to help you rather than the things that are going to increase your stress and increase your anxiety, because we really don't need any more of that right now. So make sure that for the time being, and of course for me in my perfect world, for the long haul, that you are making your priority list right now. And that can include, again, everything from taking care of some of those things that you wanted to do, looking at your hobbies, and then also giving yourself permission to relax. And lastly, the thing that I do want to tap into a little bit. Now, keep in mind that most of the stuff that I've been talking about has been like super quick, super simple, super short for me, I should say. The videos that are going to be coming from some of our clinicians are going to go more in depth on fears, on anxieties, on, again, mindfulness, on yoga, and how to manage some of that stuff. But one of the quick things that I want to tap into is that not all of us right now have the time to do some of the things that I just talked about. I know that seems very contradictory to what I was just saying, but not all of us have the time to FaceTime. Not all of us have the time to Skype. Not all of us have the time to sit on the couch and relax. And what I mean by that is we have a lot of people out there who are working more during this period of time than maybe they've ever worked. Those essential businesses, right? This is going to include our medical staff. It's going to include our first responders, our mail workers, our store clerks. All of those people are working in capacities, again, that maybe they're not used to working, but you add on top of that stress, that risk of exposure that I talked about earlier that we're all trying to reduce. They don't have the ability to try to reduce that risk of exposure because they're constantly in contact with people. They're constantly doing the same things within their job that they were doing prior to all of this. So you've got that they are working more. Oftentimes, you've got that on top of that stress, they're not able to reduce that risk of exposure. And then on top of that stress, they have the fear of potentially bringing that exposure then home to their families. And so for these people to just tell them, connect, focus on the good stuff, it can be very difficult for them to do that because they're exhausted, they're drained, they're afraid, all of these things. So my best encouragement for people that fit into this category or for significant others that fit into this category, continue to reach out, continue to connect, continue to share in whatever capacities it is that you can. You have to find people that you can trust to do that with. Maybe that's going to be friends, family members, coworkers, peer supporters, chaplains, mental health professionals, but find people that you can connect, that you can share with. that you can talk about your fears, that you can talk about your needs with. We obviously don't want to spend our entire times focused on the things that we're afraid of. We've got enough of that. But when we feel validated in those conversations, sometimes that's what we need in order to allow that fear to be removed from our brains and from our minds. So the more that we connect, the more that we share, the better we're going to feel. I know that talking with someone is not going to change the overall situation. I get that. I don't think anything else. I understand that dynamic. But at the very least, if what we can do is help you empty your cup, let you vent, let you connect, let you express whatever it is that you need to express so that you can empty your cup a little bit so that tomorrow you can return to do the same thing with an empty cup, great. Then I'll help you do it again tomorrow. If that's the only thing that we can offer, great, we're willing to offer that. But please make sure that you're still connecting, that you're sharing, that you're reaching out, because those things are more important now than perhaps they've ever been. I will get off my lecture horse for the time being until you see me next time. But until then, I really do hope that there was at least some information within this video that you were able to find helpful. And I hope that in the coming weeks, you're able to connect with some of those videos and you can take bits and pieces and apply them to your life and leave behind what you don't like, take with you what you do. So look out for those videos again, Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays at 1 p.m. available on Facebook, Twitter, and also our website. Thank you so much. Bye.